About 1 month ago, I spent $297 for a 1-hour consultation call with an e-commerce expert that specializes in Shopify. And in this video, I'm going to answer the question, was it worth it? And should you do it? So I'm going to kick it off with who this person is and go through the backstory as to why I did choose this person. So I'm going to start here, and the person's name is Ellie McCann, and I had been watching lots of her YouTube videos for a while now. I'm going to say for months prior to me committing to the consultation call. And I really liked Ellie's style. She really just had a way about her, and I really enjoyed the topics that she had chosen and the insight that she was providing about her own journey through Shopify. So I ultimately wound up taking her course. She does have a course. Where's the course? Here. There's an e-commerce bootcamp course that I wound up taking and completing, and we did go through quite a bit here. It did take some time to go through it, and each one of these pretty much has worksheets that you have to fill out. You know, your perfect customers, finding your products, your winning products, increasing your profits, double your sales in 30 days or less. And I really found this pretty informative. Okay, and the courses, and so that particular course, let me see, that course I believe was 97. I think so. Where's the prices here? 97. Yeah. So it was $97. Okay. So I paid $97, walked through the curriculum, really enjoyed it. And at that point in time, I decided to sign up for Ellie's coaching call. Right? $297 here. I purchased it. I think you could see it here too, right? 1-hour coaching call. We completed this. And what I'm going to do is kind of walk through the video, because we did get a video recording here. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the video recording and some of the insights, what we applied. And once again, at the end of it all, was it worth it? Okay, so let's jump in. Now, I'm going to fast forward it maybe 20 minutes in, because at this point in time we were talking about just my wife's struggles with creating products. She's a stay-at-home mom. She has limited time that she can dedicate to actually creating these handmade products. And for everyone, just let me go to it here. JillyWorks is our site, so if you watch any of my previous videos, you'll know this channel is really dedicated to learning as much as I can about Shopify and applying it to our JillyWorks site. And these are, the pieces that she makes. She made these Mommy and Me bracelets. We were targeting for Mother's Day. Some hearts, hamzas, moons, a flower. Really unique and beautiful stuff. So if you're interested, I highly suggest you go there and make a purchase. It would definitely help us out. So let's go back here. So I'm going to start it at 20 minutes because we were just talking inventory and how best to find some time, which I did find it to be relevant in regards to the phone call, but not Shopify specific. So I'm just going to kind of jump in here. So I'm going to play it. Let's listen to it. I'm going to do it at maybe, let me see here. I'm going to do it at, say, 1.5 speed, so we can kind of get through as much as we can. All right, so this is where we're talking about the homepage. We get some feedback from Ellie on the homepage.
I'd love to go through the site a little bit as well, if that's okay.
Sure.
So going through the site, let's see. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So going through the site overall, I think kind of what we talked about with the collections, I think a lot could be done there to just build them out. So like I saw on the homepage here, we had like a children's surfboard spring, but I think having that as like a drop-down menu, I wouldn't say you need home here because the logo clicks to the homepage, and you can even switch this out for your logo image instead of just the text.
That's really
Oh, nice. But yeah, I think you could have, I would get contact out of here as well, and maybe just have like about and wholesale at the top there. And then shop, I would have that be like individual collections. So shop mommy and me, daddy and me, children's, surfboard, spring, summer, fall, like have it kind of listed out underneath shop. Because right now, whenever I go to shop, it's just all of the products, but you don't have a ton, but it's enough to go through that it's like, okay, this is like another page. Now I have to keep going. Like you can have an animals collection and have like the ladybug. I think that you could kind of group them into similar ways of like the animal or the ladybug and the bumblebee could be together. And maybe that's like a part of the spring collection with the butterfly. You've just kind of got those together and you're grouping them in a way to where when people come to your site, they go, oh, let me see what they have. And they can quickly go in and find what they're looking for. But I think having that in the shop would be nice. And also just kind of grouping them a little bit like that overall on the site so you can see similar products together.
Yeah, so where it says home, maybe we have.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it there. You won't really be able to hear us as clearly when we're talking because the audio really wasn't all that great on our side. But I'm just going to kind of focus on, she did suggest we make some changes here, and we did. So I did add shop. I removed the home because once again, we did add the logo. Still working on the logo. I feel like it just needs to be a little darker to stand out. But here we did put our collections, so you could go to any one of the collections. So children collection here, or the women collection. So follow the advice on that. And we also added an about us and a wholesale. Now, I haven't gotten around to adding additional content to it, but we did add both of these. And wholesale because my wife really wanted to target boutique shops and build out a rapport with them. And she's made quite a few sales to some stores, and she sold the products as wholesale. So that's kind of why we're targeting wholesale here. Okay, so let's go back.
I think also having it be, so you had said in the message that you were wanting to focus on the mommy and me for Mother's Day. So I think even having this just say like, whenever you're doing a launch or trying to promote a product where you're saying, okay, this month we're going to really focus in on this product, kind of going in and changing the site accordingly. So you could change this slideshow banner to promote, the spring collection, and then underneath here, it could be shop our Mother's Day gifts. And that's where you can have the matching bracelets. Maybe you just have the one, maybe you have flowers, to where it's not all just the mommy and me, but you're kind of giving them the idea already. Like with bestsellers, that just doesn't really tell me very much for the word. But saying like shop gifts for Mother's Day, it instantly gets me in that mindset of going, oh yeah, Mother's Day is coming up. Oh, that's a great idea. I could get that. And you're kind of like building things out, and you're kind of holding their hand a little bit as a customer coming to your site for the first time.
Okay, that's great.
I really liked your collection image here. I think that could be fun to do some kind of grouping collections like that. But I would say for this, to do more of a horizontal for the slideshow or just for other areas for the site. I honestly, whenever I first came to this, I thought each of these individual photos might be linked just because of how they're styled. Like it was kind of like choose which one. But I think that could be a nice way as well. So not even like you could do a slideshow here if you had a big landscape photo, but you could even have this be, shop each of the collections at the top. And each of these, here's children's, here's spring, here's surfboard, and you can kind of click into each one of them and go directly into those products. Could be kind of a nice way of, again, showing at the very front, like these are the different styles that we have, and trying to get someone into it faster. So I typically don't like to add text into images as much just because Google and the search bots can't really read anything with it. So a lot of times I would try and pull out the text and have the text like on the screen, kind of like how this bestsellers is, so that it's selectable. So if anything, I would say have these as individual images and then have like text about which each of the collections are underneath. If you were going to do works of art for like the tagline, I would either have that at the top by the logo or maybe at the top of the site, but I would still have it to be selectable text so that the search engines could all kind of read that text and know what it was.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it there because ultimately what we wound up doing, I'm just going to move this out over here, is on the home page, we replaced that image with a just a big image of the Mother's Day collection to really make it stand out. And just any text that's there now, obviously, can be pulled out via the search engines. So we just kind of went with that default here. We just added our own text. We did that. And for this, I did, instead of bestsellers, I did change it to shop gifts for Mother's Day. Okay, so let's go back to the video. Now I'm going to fast forward it to about 26:10 here, where we talk about the product page. So let's
some information there. Like if we go into the product page, so like before you have the related product, having about the artist, where you can have kind of a photo of you here, some text, learn more about our story, to where you're kind of linking over to that page. But I think, again, it's going to help make it really understood that this is, a handmade product. I think on your product page, I was looking at this before, I think there's a lot of great text here. I would look at, I think Dawn Thame calls it collapsible content, but I would just make some of this kind of collapsible content, because you don't really need to have this such long of a page. So you can have shipping go down, return policy go down. A lot of these specific details could all go down here as well in like a collapsible bar. I like having the icons here, but I would even say make them a little bit bigger and have them like underneath the collapsible content, to where you can again have kind of a bar that says, handmade in the US, however you wanted to word all of that, but to just really lean into that and kind of create the premium positioning around the handmade aspect. Yeah, and honestly, it may actually be best, I'm guessing this is product description. It may actually be best to put the icons here underneath the payments, and then do the product description just so they get seen, because you do have a lot of photos, so it would be a lot scrolling down anyways. So it may be better to put the icons up here right underneath the Shop Pay button, just so even if they don't scroll down to see any more detail.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it right there. So let's go and see what we implemented. So I'm going to go to the Mommy and Me, and we did implement the collapsible rows. So we took all the content, put them in collapsible rows. I did make the icons a little bit bigger, and I believe this is where it was. Let me see. I don't know where it was originally. I think if this is where it was. I just kind of left it there. I thought this worked where it was. The only other change that we did make was the images themselves were much larger, and you saw all the images. So we changed it to thumbnail, so you could just thumbnail through them. Okay. And recently, in a previous video, I added swatches, so you could actually change it based on the color. They were the color tabs before, color pills. Didn't really like them. I like the color swatches a little bit better. So that's, I'm going to say that's the advice for the product page. And let's see, we're going to go back to, see, 35, or to, we should provided some suggestions on the actual images.
And I think the styling of it and the photos are nice. It could be good to vary up some of them, or just have some close-ups kind of like this, because like this page, your eye kind of instantly goes to the sunflower for each of them, and then you kind of look at the surfboard as a later after fact. So maybe even having it without the styling and just having it as a flat lay on like a white backdrop or something like that, to where it kind of blends into the site, and then you roll over it and then see this photo. That could be nice as well. But I think having some of the stylized versions like this photo could be nice to have as the featured collection on the homepage.
Okay, now, I don't believe we made any of those changes. So if we just go back and shop, let me see again where this was. Right, surfboard collection. Okay, so that's on the, if we go to the home page, we have our surfboard collection. We didn't yet get around to taking new pics. We did order a box to take some higher quality pics, but we haven't gotten around to taking these pics. So that's something that's on the agenda. And the next topic that we're talking about is about marketing. So you're not going to see much here, just us talking about it. So let's just kind of jump into that. What advice did Ellie have on marketing?
First.
Well, I think, because I'd taken your ecom class, so I know you discussed Facebook ads and everything, and I know you have another class after that.
Yeah.
We'll walk you through the Facebook ads, and I feel like we need, especially when you showed using the Facebook ads, your ideal customer, or the number of people that fit the ideal customer, and then you did like Montessori, and you can see like the subset of those people. And I feel like we need to really understand. I don't know how to do ads. I don't know how to do any of that stuff, and I know we need it. So I feel like we have to start doing ads at this point in time, as well as just posting on Instagram and making those just better pictures or better stories, or more videos of things and whatnot. That would be more appealing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that you could do for paid ads, but especially talking about inventory, I would wait to do paid ads until there was more inventory kind of stockpiled a little bit. So I would say it could be best to lean more into organic, so that way you can kind of start building out and seeing how things go over time, of especially making as many pieces as you can in a week, like how many can actually get done. But I would say doing social media could be a great place to get started, to just like you said, building out different photos, but showing kind of some of the behind the scenes process, You could kind of tease different upcoming products and like, can you guess what this is going to be? And it's like a half done piece. So where you're kind of building up a little bit of an audience. I think paid ads is a nice fuel to the fire. But I think building up the audience is going to be helpful with wholesale. If you're wanting to get into more wholesale. Plus, I think you're kind of building that community to where you can kind of also start seeing which products are going to be selling the most. So if okay, the heart bracelet sells more than anything else, then, you can make 100 of those in a certain, like a month where you make, 5 of each of the others. And then that would be kind of the hero product that you would be then doing the ads for, would just be the heart, not the other pieces.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because you don't have anything in stock and it would just be pressing for my wife to.
Yeah, so I'm just going to stop it there. So that was really great advice. Since Kia is only able to create so many pieces, to really kind of give it prop it up, hype it up with, there's a limited number of products. Here's the upcoming collection, maybe pre-order now. She does mention pre-order in just a little bit. So let's go back into it.
I have to make everything on demand at the time.
Yeah, that would be very time consuming. And I think also with ads, like once you get an ad that's working, you don't really want to turn it off. So it would kind of be a bad situation if you got ads working really nicely and then you just couldn't keep up with the volume and had to turn it off. And then because when you restart it, it's not going to work as nicely again. So I would say use the time to build out the social following and see what that hero product's going to be that is getting purchased more, that people are talking about the most, what gets the most comments. And then just doing, once you've built up, a certain stockpile of that, then doing ads for just the hero product.
Okay.
But I think building out the, trying out different social media things. So like, you have a mommy and me of like the hand with the 2 hearts on it. So that would be a great kind of lifestyle photo to promote the mommy and me, or even, a photo of your wife and her daughter on Instagram. I think you said daughter or son, sorry.
Daughter.
Okay. So that would be great to post on Instagram. That'd be great to have as like the About Us image on the site. So where you're kind of featuring those and having that be kind of the main priority, like you said, for Mother's Day. Having a couple different images like that, having an image of your wife making the bracelet and saying, get yours now for a Mother's Day gift from one mom to another mom, like that kind of messaging, and just really leaning into that for social media to promote that specific product for Mother's Day.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it there. Okay, so the last topic we're going to cover here is just, I asked a question about purchasing themes because I'm using the Dawn theme, and this was, let me get to it, 42 here, let's go.
Yeah, I personally always purchase themes just because I find that they're updated more frequently than the Shopify themes, and they do have a little bit more functionality where it seems like Shopify doesn't want to make their themes as much of the apps because they don't want to step on the app developer ecosystem. So to answer your question, that could be something that's helpful. I know there's plenty of themes that have like the pre-order functionality built in, the inventory tracking built in, like the notify me when it's sold out, or even like upsells. So like if I was to purchase a white flower bracelet, then I'd be more likely to also purchase a pink or a blue. I may just not see all of the colors. So I think as you're adding more products in, that could be helpful to have kind of the upsells built in on the site. But I would say right now that it's not something that's like, I think all the things that you would need to do, you could do it with the Dawn theme, maybe 1 or 2 additional apps. But I think you could get a lot of it done just where it's at existing, and then look at that kind of as you're scaling up definitely more inventory of having a theme that's got maybe some filters built in to where you can sort by different color or size, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay. Just kind of use what we have. Okay.
I'm a scrappy entrepreneur. I'm always like just focused on like how do I get to the most like minimal viable option of getting something launched. How does the least amount of tweaks make me the most amount of sales? And while I also am a web designer at heart and I love getting a nice theme with all the bells and whistles, I think a lot of times it's not really needed as much, at least just starting out.
Okay, so I'm just going to kind of wrap it up there. The rest of the time we're just kind of talking about Ellie's site. She does have, it's called Wolf's Pup Creative. Wolf's Pup Creative, is this it? Wolf's Pup Creative, yeah. She has a site where she created 2 children's books, and so this is her site just on her promoting the children's books. It's a nice site, nicely designed. Definitely check it out. And there are some really good videos that Ellie had on that. Let me just go down here. 2 videos that I would highly suggest you watch. Really, that I watched was where she was using Fiverr for her videos for that particular site, as well as the real cost, where she was going into the cost of hiring freelancers for assets, like the logo and the branding, the pics and the video, all that. So these were 2 really good ones, as well as this one too, hiring a photographer for her product. So I guess the question boils down to, was it worth it? So yes, I would say yes. Spending $297 seems quite a bit of money to spend for a 1 hour consultation call, but the insights that Ellie provided were really, insightful and allowed me to improve our store and really gave us some great ideas on marketing. So I'm even considering possibly reaching out to Ellie for an extended consultation service, maybe 3 to 6 months, or perhaps finding another Shopify expert to help me along this journey. There's a lot to learn, and I want to learn it as quick and fast as possible. So with that, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, would love to hear them. If you have any tips on Shopify and e-commerce, please leave those. And for my next video, I'm actually going to be interviewing a Shopify store owner who has been successfully selling their products online for a bit now, and just hear about their trials and tribulations and any advice that they could provide. So look forward to seeing you in the next video.